Hi, Scouts. It's Cub Master Patrick from Pack 495 in Renton, Washington. Wanted to talk with you today about the Outdoor Code. The Outdoor Code is one of those devices that we use to help remember how to act when we're in the outdoors. Pretty soon we'll also have a video on Leave No Trace principles, so make sure you come back and check that out. So here in Renton, Washington, we're right by a city. You can see Seattle out in the background there. We're right near the water. If you look out behind me, you can even see Mount Rainier. This is an active volcano, although currently dormant. And you can also see behind me, we've got forests, we've got trails, and there's all sorts of great ways to get out in nature. But how do we know how to behave when we're in the nature? So what we want to talk about is the Outdoor Code. And so the Outdoor Code, so that way you can learn it, is as an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, to be careful with fire, to be considerate in the outdoors, and be conservation minded. So that's 4 things that we try to remember. Hopefully my screen doesn't disappear my fingers. But so as an American, I will do my best. So these are the pledge that we make to ourselves and to others. To be clean in my outdoor manners. So this is number 1, be clean in my outdoor manners. We want to make sure that we're cleaning up after ourselves. We're not littering. We're being respectful of the trees and the wildlife and the nature. We want to make sure that we're being careful with fire. There are times when we're outside and it's appropriate to have a fire, but we're not going to play with net matches. We're not going to build fires without using an approved fire pit. We want to make sure that there are adults around who are there to help supervise our fires. We want to make sure that we're using them for the right reasons. These are not toys, these are not games. They can hurt the wildlife and the trees if we're not careful. So we want to make sure that we're using them maybe for warmth or a campfire or cooking. These are all great reasons to have a fire, but we only do these in safe spaces with adults around. To be considerate in the outdoors. This means that we want to make sure that we realize we're not the only people using the outdoors. We may not be the only people on trails. We're all supposed to be being physically distant from each other right now. So there are a lot of people who are trying to get outdoors to where they can enjoy nature and be out of the house a little bit and getting their exercise, but maybe not being so close. So there may be other people on trails and they're trying to keep their distance as well. And they want to enjoy nature just like we are. So what we want to do is we want to be considerate to all of the other people and animals in the outdoors. We want to make sure that maybe we wave and say hi to people, but that we're not being overly loud or yelling, or we want to make sure that we're being polite and allowing everybody else to enjoy the outdoors just like we are. And the 4th thing is to be conservation minded. We want to make sure that we know that that nature is a limited resource if we're not being careful with it. We want to make sure that we're being good about the materials we use. We want to recycle and reduce our use of different items. We want to make sure that we look at how we're keeping nature where it's supposed to be. We leave rocks and sticks where we find them and leaves. Maybe we, if we want to take pictures of what we see or make leaf pressings or rubbings, these are great ways to document how we have spent our time outside. We also want to make sure that we're not damaging the outdoors. We're not doing any graffiti or scraping the bark off of trees. We want to make sure that we're keeping the animals safe. So we want to make sure we keep our trash with us, and that we use recyclable materials. Like we use our reusable water bottles and backpacks on our trips. And we don't just buy things and throw them away, especially not in the outdoors. So we're not littering. So with that, let's review the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, be careful with fire, be considerate in the outdoors, and be conservation minded. Thanks for joining in, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.